All right.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Number 87
welcome.
of the podcasts.
Yes. Family Guy 10, Trashocon, Lyriot, Mesker. Hey.
Welcome, everyone.
Good to see you all here. Oh, my
And
gosh.
today, we're going to be discussing Devilman.
Devilman
Yori.
and Sora Yori. Sora Yori, a place for the universe. For those of you that are not cultured, that is okay.
Right. For those of you whose weeb score is in reasonable levels.
Right. Specifically, these two shows were contenders for Anime of the Year 2018. A lot of people thought that Sora Yori, a place for the universe, had a pretty good shot. Jacob and myself were among that crowd, but we had not seen Devilman Crybaby at that point.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and it is quite the show.
It's quite the show. Now that we've finished it, we very much know why it won Anime of the Year.
I personally still think Sora Yori should have won.
Yeah, and we're going to get that out of the way right here now. We're not going to be basically going into why Sora Yori should have won.
Right.
We both still think Sora Yori should have won Anime of the Year. But that's our personal taste. That's our specific thing there.
But both have a ton of things going for them. It's absolutely understandable that Devilman won.
Absolutely understandable. In a lot of ways, it's something where you can see our personal bias because Violet Evergarden was another show that came out that year. And that one, I think, had a decent shot at winning Anime of the Year as well.
Sure.
Like, in terms of just presentation overall.
I mean, definitely as far as animation goes and potentially for soundtrack.
A whole lot of things.
But
yeah, so we're getting that out of the way here. The title is one that it would make us seem like we're going to be, trying to see which one should have won. We're getting this out of the way. We prefer Sora Yori primarily because we are wholesome boys.
And trying to compare the two, like, on any kind of objective level, it really just gets into preference because the shows are so different.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about really like the merits, the specific things that they each do really well, the things that the show brings out of us as viewers, like on an individual level, and what we feel like they were kind of shooting for as terms of like not just concept, but just the execution of the overall story. And in some ways, talking about the ways that they are both kind of a touch piece on the current state of anime right now. We have Devilman Crybaby, which is the reboot retelling of an old classic story.
Sure.
And then we have the anime original, which is just basically a studio flexing on us all with their, godlike powers.
In many ways, both are studios flexing.
Oh yeah, they're both studios
even
flexing.
The other one we mentioned, Violet Evergarden, also a studio flexing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Before we get into this real quick, there are a couple follows and subscriber shout out here. Kane the Undead Unicorn, thank you so much for the follow. And thank you so much for the follow as well.
I don't think you said that quite right. I think I needed more H's on there.
And then Tiermonda, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub.
Yes.
Tiermonda, you have a magnet now. Welcome to the Magnet Brigade. The magnets in Abyss. There is no ascent out of this hole. It's all downhill from here.
That's right.
You've got gravity and magnetism working against you now.
Let's try to be civilized while discussing violent, demon, gore porn, and wholesome children in the same breath.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. This is how you attain the true level of culture. And there's a reason why I have my hands cupped in this way. You have both the wholesome, cute girls doing cute things in one hand, and you have violent, dark, graphic, social commentary, demons possessing people.
Exactly.
Just stuff in the same breath.
I love how you're like, just stuff.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Both have amazing soundtracks. I think that's where like both of those shows can basically come together and be like, all right, we're very different.
Yes,
we're very different,
but we both understand.
But we understand the need for a really good soundtrack.
What soundtracks? Can we just take a moment, y'all, in chat, just to praise the beauty, the absolute delicious, delectable delights that are found in these two just wonderful soundtracks.
Oh man, and the thing is, they're completely different soundtracks, but they fit the shows. Since the shows are very different, they fit each show perfectly.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I could say that in some ways, Devilman Crybaby has the slight edge in the soundtrack department to Sora Yori. But when you go back and watch Sora Yori as like a kind of a rewatch, you realize how well the music blends into the specific scenes.
Yep.
So when it's not like banging out in your right in front of your face, like Devilman Crybaby is just like throwing its big dick of music, basically just like, yeah, look at it, it's amazing. Sora Yori is there just right there in the background, right when you need to be, just transitioning
and the
perfectly
thing is, I feel
into like emotionally grounded scenes. It's so good.
I feel like every track in Devilman you could just listen to and be like, wow, this is an amazing track. And with some of the Sora Yori ones, they do kind of go into the background, but that's kind of the point in a lot of cases, because it's atmosphere and everything, and it's a much more subdued show than Devilman. But then you've got, I mean, the OP and ending are great, right? But then you've got the insert song.
Oh yeah.
And like, how many times did you cry or cheer or all of the above when that song played? Like, I know I did.
Yeah. I went too far into this podcast without shouting out our VIP for the week.
Oh, that's right.
Wowiji! We have the legend who's been an OG, like, old god of the Patreon and the Discord. The legendary Wowiji, who came around for the specific time when he was needed.
That's
when Smash Bros was coming out, and he would spam his Waluigi stuff everywhere.
Even before then, like, it was something where, like, back when we just started the Patreon, every single video, Waluigi.
But he's been supporting us ever since that time. So we really going back through some of the old supporters. So thank you so much, Waluigi, for your support.
Yes,
I know you are on the Discord, at least intermittently, but it would be cool to have you on some of the calls and stuff. So shout out to the wah himself. Exactly. Thank you, chat, for all the wahs. Yes. Well, Luigi, if you were here to see this, you'd be touched. You'd be touched. It's beautiful. The man we need, but not the one we deserve. Exactly. Exactly. GUI Engineer, did you hear the Place for the Universe in that movie? Wait, what? You saying that Place for the Universe is getting a movie, or are you saying... Wait,
I'm not sure. Wait.
GUI, that didn't make sense.
Brrr. Did you
hear the Place for the Universe soundtrack in that movie?
Oh, wait.
What movie?
Which movie?
What movie are you talking about? GUI. GUI, no. I don't understand. I don't understand your sentences.
Although that sounds amazing if they use the soundtrack for Place for the Universe in a movie. I mean, it's just common sense, but, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, you'll get back to us on that. But okay, so the music was something that I would say that both anime killed it in, but then just overall presentation with regards to not just the music, but the animation and the overall like visual presentation. Both of them used very different styles with regards to how they showcase this. And I would say you look at the style of Devilman and you look at the people behind it and you go, well, of course. Like, oh, of course this is what it's going to look like. But then you think about what the story is trying to portray and how, in a lot of ways, humanity, when you look at its darker side, is disgusting. Like, the art is not supposed to be, sexy, pretty, and alluring and, photorealistic in any way. No. It's something where it's simplified because they're trying to tell you so much more than just, look at these attractive characters, or look at these semi-realistic characters and stuff.
And it also, if you think about it, is a great way to overcome the fact that it's an adaptation of something that's very old.
Yes, so you can call back the old style.
Well, you can call back the old style, but it's also a way to basically blend over the fact that the character models are very dated, right? And you don't necessarily notice that if the art style in general is very,
Gotcha. Unique. Yeah, definitely. Oh, sorry, GUI. Yes, the movie we saw the other day. Yes, that's right. Okay, gotcha.
The Zero movie.
Yes, exactly. Zabamo Fett, thank you so much for the 500 bits. Here you go. I just wanted the new badge. LOL. Anyways, I love your work and we'll be becoming a VIP patron this Saturday. Whoa! Zabamo Fett. I guess we'll be shouting you out soon in a podcast then.
And good timing, because that will be the day before the VIP call. So, be sure to tune in for that.
Yeah. And wow. Yeah, you almost might want to, maybe you get to tune into the call. That's true at the end of the month and stuff, but you'll get double charged.
Because it's
near the end of the month. So think about that just in case.
Yeah.
Trash Gun, I actually thought you'd be doing a Game of Thrones discussion. Yeah, that's gonna be later.
It's gonna be next.
It's gonna be later. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes. Lyric.
They dropped Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Lyric will.
Wow.
Be. No spamming One Piece and stuff. Okay, so back to these two shows. One of the things that won us over, I would say for both of them was character animation. So we get into kind of the art and everything there. They're both very different styles and stuff, but the actual animation that they put into both of these shows is top notch. And something that's crazy is you look at how fluid in a lot of ways the animation of Devilman and Crybaby is, and yet they allowed it to be crazy. They allowed it to be chaotic when they wanted it to. And then they would have these just ridiculously crazy moments of gore and just stuff splattering everywhere.
Yep.
and
stuff.
Yeah, stuff. But you watch this show, and I think if you try to take it almost too seriously, the art and the animation actually kind of helps keep you sane a little bit, because some parts of it aren't like, for the intentions of being like memey or silly or anything.
Oh, sure.
But it's something where the comedy of it, or maybe the dark comedy of it, can bleed through.
The exaggeration of everything, because the animation and the art style, both of those, because they are separate things, are very exaggerated. And when it gets into the really visceral parts, that does help to kind of make it so that it doesn't hit too hard. And that's saying something, because Devilman Crybaby hits very hard.
Yeah, it hits almost
too hard. So the fact that they do that, I feel like, is a really good tiny bit of disconnect to keep it from being even crazier.
For sure. And then in Sora Yori, you have, I would say, some of the simpler parts in the art being around the characters, but the animation being so fluid with them.
Yep.
And then combining that with their blending in with 3D, actually, in all the big things, like the boat, the helicopters,
the snowcats, I believe.
The snowcats. Yep. And it was a treat. It was something where I thought we were seeing movie level budget in terms of like 3D, 2D blending.
Oh, yeah. Well, and also with the characters themselves, because since it's an anime original, how the characters are drawn, that's completely, entirely up to the crew, right?
For sure.
They don't have anything they're basing it off of.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm really glad that they did, that I feel like would end up kind of being a bit of a turnoff if I was going to watch another cute girls doing cute things kind of show. And it's especially because this one has a lot of substance to it, so it helped with the immersion and the realism of it, is that the characters look very normal. Even though they're anime characters, like, they don't have a lot of the extra sort of doodads sort of thrown onto their character design in order to make them stand out. They are very simplistic, the way they do like the sort of like the white shading or outlinings for like, the hair and things like that. It all makes it seem like these are just, regular people, right? Which, given what the story's about, that makes it all hit that much harder.
Right. And then you have, I would say, something really crazy that I think actually needs extra mention, even though we didn't write this down here, Jacob.
Oh, yeah?
Is the lighting. Now, this is something that is very much a crazy good thing, and I would say it's perfectly contrasted by these two shows. And that is, in A Place for the Universe, you have multiple moments in the story where you're either into Antarctica or you're looking at, specific scenery and stuff, and it looks straight up real. This is real. Like, it looks straight, like someone took a picture of like an actual like real place and just put it in.
And there will be motion.
And there'll be motion in it. Exactly.
Usually the motion is with the lighting, because even if the background or the backdrop or whatever is just a painted thing. Right. It's like, okay. But then, you know, it could be something as simple as seeing like ice cubes slowly melting in a glass, right?
Yeah.
And the light coming through them is just like,
it looks so good. It's eye-gasmic. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this is something that is prevalent through the entire show. Like, it doesn't let up. And then in Devilman, they do this crazy stuff. Well, they'll go from everywhere from into these club scenes and stuff like that, where you'll have all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Yeah. And then they'll hit you with like specific shadows for certain scenes. It's almost more say something specifically with Devilman Crybaby, more than specifically the lighting. It's how they frame the shots, and it's like a directing, like how to direct a 2D animated thing.
Right. And they almost make everything feel even more flat than normal. Like than I would expect for a show that came out at the time that it did, almost to give it that like old style feel.
Right.
Which, you know.
Yeah, but when they want to go like deep into specific things, it's something else. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Madhouse is just Madhouse is so good.
Cute girls on a budget is a concept I have adored ever since Nichijou.
I feel ya. The best Sora Yori line ever was "My youth is in motion" when they run in episode 2. Oh my god. Yes. Episode 2's moment where they're all running through I believe that's Tokyo. And they're getting chased by the older girls and stuff. That was amazing. It's a scene that's played, I would say, primarily for gags in the beginning, but then it becomes this moment of character stuff, which I'd say this is the point where actually we're going to start talking, I would say, about
like diverging a bit about where certain aspects of certain shows have certain strengths over others, but we're not going to be talking about how one show doesn't do it as well, just more of highlighting how a certain show just does that really well, and that's characters. And I think that Sora Yori killed it with its characters. Absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Every single one of the girls in Sora Yori are just they're all perfect.
And the thing is, they're so different, right?
They're so different,
and I can see where a lot of them might fit into the tropes of the characters in a cast, right?
Totally.
You've got the quirky, underdog protagonist that's kind of ditzy, right? So you want to root for them, right? You've got the serious one, and okay, you have that person there, and then you've got like the really shy one, and then you've got the really positive one, right? That's not exactly super unheard of or crazy or anything like that. But the thing is, they sell it with each one individually so well, and giving each of them character moments and character arcs. And you think about it, a 4-episode show or 12-episode show with 4 characters, and having each character have a character arc and an introduction, that's kind of a big deal, because it's not like all the characters start out together or at school or things like that.
You have to focus on them at minimum 2 episodes, and in general what they do is they actually focus on each of them, I would say, about 3 episodes, but that middle episode is usually where they pair the focus with another character in the cast to be more efficient with time. But yes, I gotta shout out that comment, Lyra. That was perfect. Sora Yori killed it with its characters, and Devilman killed its characters.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And in some ways, that's why I would say Devilman just doesn't get the blessing of having to enjoy its characters as much, because humanity as a whole was kind of a character. Right. In some ways, Rio is more of a main character than even Akira is.
It's almost like the themes of the show are the character, and like the lessons that people learn, and the commentary and everything.
Right. And also the manic fast pacing of Devilman is so ridiculous. It didn't really have time to go in depth into more than maybe 1 or 2 characters.
Right.
So it's something where it's something where they had very good character moments.
Right.
But the characters themselves were just they were just good. They were just good. But the Sora Yoris were like they're a testament, I would say, to not just the way in which you have like a high concept character. I would say a character that's high concept is you look at those side characters from that shonen you like or whatever, that's just like way too good for the shonen that it's in. it's like you look at the I don't know, like the I'm just thinking like FMAB, like, you got like Mustang, you got like or Greedling. You have these characters where they're not the main focus of the story, but they'll just be so good. I think Sora Yori is that, but But instead of going into this grand concept, they basically just took a simple concept and nailed it perfectly. They took everything about these 4 girls and their interactions and just made a perfect one cour mini story there. It's so good.
Oh yeah, and
the voice actors put a lot into
it. They really did. Like just with how snappy the dialogue is and everything, and that was probably written into it too, like to try and make sure that they were, putting that much into it. But
we already answered that question, Gooey. We're not here to debate which one is our favorite or preferred. Like we prefer Sora Yori, obviously.
Yeah, just that's what we prefer.
That's what we prefer.
But the thing is, both do things so well, and like in the same way that because pacing is one of the other ones. It's like, oh, pacing, that's a technical word, but like, with Devilman, the pacing is, what is there to say? It's manic, it's crazy, it's insane, and it's wonderful, right?
Exactly.
With Sora Yori, it was this thing where it was just like every episode had its purpose, and it played its purpose, and there you go. And even though it was short, it didn't feel like there was anything missing or extra.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting into, I would say, the things that makes them, I would say, both very different, but also carry a lot of their, I could say carry a lot of their themes to you, and that's something that we're going to really talk about is themes, but the delivery package. In Sora Yori, they try and hit you with the relatability aspect of having dreams that you feel like you have to capitalize upon now while you have time to. And that aspect of childhood freedom where you have the ability to just go to Antarctica, even though it's going to take a lot of work and effort and stuff, it's that act of doing something that breaks you out of your usual norm,
right?
That can just show you so much more about yourself and give you so much more opportunities to grow. Right. And that they communicate this wonderful story in the midst of that,
because it really is a coming of age story.
It is
that's I feel like where, if you were to sum up the substance that gets added to Sora Yori, that it makes it different from just another cute girls doing cute things show, I would say it's the fact that it is a coming of age story, and it's also the hero's journey, like if you think about it. But they made it so that it's the themes were grounded. Like it's something that all of us can relate to, because we all have to grow up eventually, right? And and how much of us, how many of us had that feeling where it's like, oh, I want to make sure I'm like doing things with my life, but it's passing me by, and how do I stop this? How do I seize the day, right? And then in Devilman, you've just got
this visceral, like dark.
It's like, all right, let's take a look at humanity's potential in the negative.
Right. Let's
take a look.
Let's explore. Let's explore how much is needed really to reduce us all to a chaotic mess where we're eating and killing each other. Like, it's really interesting to see how much Devilman Crybaby as a show went for the more realistic, the more visceral, the things where you look at our world today and you think, how much would it take for a Rio to show up and do the same thing here? If that Rio existed in our world, it would be pretty easy. He wouldn't have all the demons that he could show as proof.
Right, yeah. Even without the powers and stuff,
with enough misinformation, with enough crazy manipulation of social media, money, with enough money,
and just people that were also like in it with him,
like him. Yeah. It wouldn't take much. It was something that was really chilling as we finished the story and we realized that, by the way, y'all, we're talking spoilers for most of the shows here. When the way it ended, I guess I won't be too explicit with it, but the way it ended and stuff, you realize the futility of not only it all, but I would say also it all, like specifically
not just the futility of humanity's plight in a lot of ways, but also the futility of Rio's plight. It
is something that was equally as chilling, I would say, with the idea, and it went into the fantastical. It went into the borderline, fantastical. I'll just say. But the idea that on some level, I would wish for something like that fantastical to happen rather than have the ending that, we got, essentially, with just having everything go to hell, basically.
Well, and the thing is that that's one of those things where I would have probably felt cheated if not for the fact that the series was 10 episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing is that because it's so short, right? Yeah. It's just this art piece. It it is an art piece. That's a great way to put it. Both of these shows are art pieces, and in very different ways. Like Sora Yori is like that art piece that's just absolutely gorgeous to look at, and you could kind of lose yourself in. Devilman Crybaby is like that art piece where you're never really gonna see something else like it, and you're yeah. Sora Yori will warm the cockles of your heart. Devilman Crybaby will maybe keep you up at night. And the way it does it is fantastic. I am so glad that I ended up watching it, even if it's not one of my absolute favorites in that sense, because there are things that they do in that show that I don't think I'll ever see in other shows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some interesting stuff, Daiki. I don't generally quote statistics as, there's two lies, there's three kinds of lies: damned lies, and statistics, but I'm sure that's more accurate than not. The thing that's crazy, to bring up that whole thing there, the thing that's crazy about Devilman is it did bring you, though, into the stories of everyday people. So when you're, having this story with people that are possessed by, devils and stuff like that, these supernatural abilities and stuff, the story still keeps you, I would say, tracking with a real, kind of simple human family. Right. Who's innocent, essentially, of all the craziness that's going on. For most of the show. And then things go crazy, and there you go. So yeah. But it's crazy to think that while the themes of Devilman are something that explores, not just the, nihilism in a lot of ways, but also the influence of, I would say, the influence of an individual in today's world. It's something that it's a little crazy to think about, but I think we all kind of give ourselves, in a lot of ways, maybe too much negative credit. But I found a weird kind of aspect thinking back on Devilman as I was preparing for this and thinking about how Rio could have been the hero. In another story, Rio could have been the hero.
Well, and in some ways, you could say that
he kind of was.
That it's the story of him being turned into the hero,
or maybe
but maybe it's just a very high cost that needs to be paid,
or maybe it's maybe he'll be the hero, right?
That maybe he has the chance. Maybe he can change. Yeah,
right. And it's absolutely bonkers nuts when you, I would say, try to unpack the ending, not really the ending episode, but kind of the ending 2 or 3 episodes, because it's a pretty tough show, I would say, to get into.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of discussion that can come from it that I would say we didn't even go into in our videos and stuff. So themes aside, one of the things that I really feel like Sora Yori has that we kind of wanted to highlight, because it's contrasted so much with Devilman Crybaby, is that Devilman Crybaby, I think, appeals to a very specific crowd. Yeah, it's something that I know certain people that would love Devilman Crybaby.
Yep.
But I know a large majority of people that would not
be able to handle it.
Not be able to handle it. It's very much a tough show to watch. Yep. Sora Yori, however, I can recommend it to literally every person on the planet.
Yep.
As long as they have the ability to speak.
And read quickly, maybe.
And read maybe at a second grade level,
Yeah.
They will probably get something out of Sora Yori.
Right. Because the thing is that with anime, there's so many wonderful anime out there, right?
Yeah.
But getting people to watch anime, it can be tough sometimes, even when they're anime fans. But when they're not, can be damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Sora Yori is not one of those shows.
It definitely is not.
Whether you're showing it to kids or, old grandparents, right?
Yeah.
It has something for everyone. And I think that's it's part of the fact that it doesn't have all of the just general anime weirdness in there, no fan service, no supernatural elements, it's a very grounded story, but it's also so relatable and kind of textbook with the kinds of things that it does. It's the hero's journey, right? Yep. So there's this aspect of it that can resonate with people from many different walks of life, whereas with Devilman, it's an avant-garde artistic set piece.
Right. It's something where in Devilman, I know people who will probably be more able to go deeper in discussion with Devilman than they ever could go with A Place Further in the Universe.
Right.
Because on some level, I would say on a meta level, if you think about the meta narrative of each story, the meta narrative of Devilman Crybaby is way more like pervasive and in your face and loud and just glaring right there. With Sora Yori, I think the meta narrative is way more subtle because what I would say is a good actually representation of someone experiencing the meta narrative and how it moves them is actually Giguk's video on Place Further in the Universe.
Oh yeah,
he did a video. I don't know how long ago, but he did a video on basically how it moved him. Basically, it gave him this feeling of like wanting to go out and do something with his life.
I think he said he actually went on a trip because of it.
Wow.
It's that thing where when you have a story that doesn't just like make you think, right? Because Devilman Crybaby definitely does that.
Yeah.
But I feel like with A Place Further in the Universe, it goes into that extra level for me where it influences my everyday life, right? It's something where I feel like I've learned something deep and personal about myself and the world, and now I'm better equipped to, go on my own hero's journey.
Right, for sure. And I think that's probably the main reason, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the main reason why Devilman Crybaby won Anime of the Year was because of this. It's something that has an ambitious art piece kind of, you could talk about it for days if you have the energy to after watching it.
Right.
But with A Place Further in the Universe, if you don't look, I would say, hard enough in the accomplishment that it is within the presentation of it, it's something that looks like, on the surface, I would say, every other cute girl doing cute things kind of story.
And the thing is that if you really give it a chance, then you'll probably see that it's not.
Yes.
But if you don't, because you're just like, oh, it's another cute girls doing cute things
I mean, you just watch it, but you don't really invest yourself into looking into it, really.
Yeah, you're watching it, but you're kind of like half watching it. Like any of those times like where you're watching something, but you're like watching it while like doing something on the side, so you're not like, giving it your full attention. And that's why we talk about it so much, is because we want more people to give it the chance.
And this is something, another thing I noticed when I talked with a lot of people about Place Further in the Universe, is they were saying they weren't able to get into it because it was so unrealistically positive and wholesome.
Oh,
and
really?
There's something that, and this wasn't really expressed in that way, is basically that there's this idea of Antarctica being this difficult thing they have to get to, but the actual story makes it so that it all just kind of works out for them so well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, obviously they're going to Antarctica. This isn't a story about the plot having kind of twists or any kinds of dramatic tension about whether or not they'll go.
And also you could say the fact that they're able to go to Antarctica, even though it's through extenuating circumstances, is maybe a lesson in life, because fortune favors the prepared.
Yep.
And in order to do something great, you'll have to do something great, right?
Yep.
So the fact, it would take something like that in order for them to go to Antarctica. Yep. But the thing is that doesn't mean it's impossible, maybe unlikely. Maybe they have to think outside the box and things like that. But it's out there. You could do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Decalabia. Yes, Sora Yori is very well researched. It even won an award for how well it portrayed Singapore. Like the entire country.
And that was like just one episode.
Yeah. The entire country basically went and gave it basically like this. They were like, just this anime has like one of the only anime that's ever portrayed like our like nation's capital so well. It was something that was so well recognized that Forbes did a top 100 TV shows,
or New York Times,
did a top 100 TV shows, just all TV shows of that year. And I believe
it was top 10 international TV shows.
No. But it was 100 shows total. 10 of those shows. 10 of those shows were international shows. And just for all international shows, being any show that's not produced in the U.S., at all.
Yeah.
A Place Further in the Universe was the only animated show outside of for the US. I think they had cartoons on the list for
for like inside the US,
yeah, but it was something that was it was very like well put together.
It wasn't cartoons outside the US, it's just shows outside the US. Like, think about that. It's crazy.
And this is something that I think on some level this might be it's either a problem for the people that can't stand the wholesomeness thing, or it's a problem for me and Jacob. But either way, I mean, let's try and look at it as a positive. That just shows maybe how positive focused we are. But I think that on some level people need shows like Sora Yori. If you find the positive parts of it too it's too cheesy and too feel goody, you need to watch more cheesy shows. Like maybe you need to watch more like happy, just good things and stuff. Because I think some of us, especially like if I think back to my edgy years of like 17 to 22, I think. Like I did not like wholesome, positive, like, you know, just cheesy, ooey gooey kind of stuff. And
because it can feel fake so much of the time.
And yet like maybe it's just where we are in life and stuff. But there is something so endearing about having a story that has a story that just does its characters right.
And with the wholesomeness that it has in there, even though it's like, you know, you could say it's a rose-colored look at life, you know, or things like that. Oftentimes, in order to do those crazy things, you need to look through that rose-colored lens a bit to believe that those kinds of things are possible.
Yes,
because otherwise you won't do it, right?
It's kind of like the girl in the you know
Megu-chan. That's why
that's like, kind of her problem in the story.
And I love this show. So like, okay, and with me and Caleb, like
I love they actually addressed it. So
they addressed it for one, but just
they handled it.
They handle it so well. But like for me and Caleb, but even before the channel started, we each had our thing that was basically like our Antarctica. Right.
Oh, sure. Sure.
And so we had kind of gone through a lot of the processes of being like, okay, there's this thing we want to do, and you know, it's very unlikely that it'll happen, and you know, and there's a bunch of people that maybe don't like that we're going after this thing, and maybe
crabs in the bucket.
Exactly.
Right. Down here.
Some in subtle ways, some in not so subtle ways.
Exactly.
So and the thing is that in a lot of ways, the only thing that kept us going, or at least I know for me, one of the only things that kept me going was that decision to just believe that maybe there was something to the rose-colored look at the world.
Sure.
Right? That maybe something could come from that. And I mean, so this show, and especially the episode with Megu-chan, episode 5, it was like, I almost imagine it like coming home after a long day of work and you have a dog that's just super excited to see you. Like that's like you've had the worst day of your life, right? But you come through the door and you know,
I'm Jacob. Like gonna give the gift people like fuel here. People are like, love that, but no, for real. If wholesome energy is something that you're like, that's just hard to believe in and stuff, you need to get a good dog. There's so many aspects of just the I'd say over the top wholesomeness that we can find in real life here that it's just something it's just something that if you need that, I feel for you, because I know what that's like, but it's something that's really good. It's food for the soul. Exactly. Now, speaking on kind of the soul, I would say Devilman, the transitions here. Devilman is actually a story about souls in a way. In a way.
In a very literal way.
In a very literal way in certain aspects. Now, the thing about Devilman is we haven't seen the original material. So I know a lot was cut from the, original in order to make the adaptation version here, the more recent one. So one of the things that they bring in as a mechanic is the idea that Akira's heart is still human.
Yes.
And it's something that I would equate to basically, it's not like his physical organ, is is human.
Right.
There's a possibility that more of his organs are human, but the point is that his soul, his heart, his mind, will, and his emotions, the thing that makes him human is still there. It's still there. He's still able to cry. He's still able to have empathy. He's still able to, have his heart for people be there and be real. And you have Rio, who's just cold, dead inside, and they basically go in this kind of trajectory path where Akira slowly is losing little bits of touch with his humanity as he feels the pull of the devil inside. But once he hits the end and he has that moment with the crowd, and he just cries for all the horrible things that humanity is doing to itself. It's such a perfect scene because you see that we talked about this in depth in the discussion, but the whole idea of the one kid who first stops and realizes
that first step
is like, whoa, what's going on here?
In a lot of ways, that's the same kind of thing that A Place Within the Universe gets at with their journey, but encapsulated just in that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would say this is something that Devilman absolutely just killed it with, is the idea that we have these characters experiencing horrific things, but we still have time for the humanity of it all.
Right.
The human soul of it.
Yeah.
And then the big twist is at the end that Rio finds a heart. Maybe.
Yeah.
And it's in the most simple thing, companionship. Love.
Exactly.
Just, the idea that a single person can save someone. It doesn't take... some people say it takes a village, that's that's like to raise a
right.
It's a dumb old school phrase, but there's some merit in there. But the point is, I would say that it doesn't take a good environment to save a person.
Right. It's the idea that the acts of just one person.
Just one person. Yep. Kamugi, well said, Family Guy. I think Kamugi is a great example of that.
Exactly. And they kind of have that in Sora Yori too.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, you have it in two characters for two different ways. One, you have it in
Kimari?
Yeah, well, you have it in Kimari, and then what's the name of the other main character?
Help us out.
Frick, I can't believe it. Okay, but anyways, no, Antarctica. But but you have it in Kimari because
yes.
I feel so terrible about this. Oh my God.
Keep going, Kimari.
She believes in Antarctica when no one else did, right? And when she was running out, right? When she was running out of steam, she'd been fighting, by herself the whole time. And
Shirase.
Kabuchizawa, yes, Shirase, yes, that's right. Yes. Okay. Shirase was running out of steam, right? She'd been believing in this dream for the entire time. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot. But she, you can't go forever. Ow. Cramp. Ouch. That sucks. But anyways, so Shirase has been doing this, for the past several years, ever since her mom died, right? But she can't keep going like that forever. And then Kimari comes by and believes in her, right? When no one else does, when in some ways Shirase is starting to doubt herself, right? When Shirase almost doesn't believe in herself anymore, right? And all she has that's going is just spite for all the people that said she would never be able to do it. And then Shirase also, because Kimari didn't believe that she would be able to do anything either, right? She didn't believe that she would be able to go on an adventure and break out of her shell and do all those things that she wanted to do but didn't have the courage to. Shirase called her up to that higher standard. Caleb has legs, not only that, but...
Oh my God. Yeah, that's it. I've been hitting the frisbee way too intensely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had a double header yesterday, and then just about 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago I had another leg. Eat a banana.
Yeah, Charlie horses, those suck.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You got video proof. All my theories are confirmed. Wait, Caleb is not stuck to Jacob.
The thing is, I've got some kind of pajama pants on, so I don't know I don't know if my butt was shown. I hope.
Yeah, not. It's a good thing you weren't wearing just underwear this time. Yeah. No, we don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we never do that. No. Zalabama, thank you so much for the follow. Transition, talking about Sora Yori, Shirase.
Yeah, right. So the thing is that they both are the different sides of not even the same coin. They're just such opposites, right? But they're opposites that need to be there, right? It's the fire and brimstone in Shirase that basically says, "Damn it all, I'm doing this," right? Defy what everyone else says and thinks.
Right.
And then there's Kimari, who basically is the calm belief and hope and all of that. She's the rose-colored lenses, right?
Yeah.
Because the world can be a rough, cruel place. Like, we don't need to look at Devilman Crybaby to see that, although it does accentuate it very nicely.
Yeah, because it shows the potential beyond where it can get worse.
Exactly, that it can get worse, you know. But the thing is that with just one of those, I don't think that kind of story would be able to happen. Not just in the case of the story, but also in real life. Because if you're just Shirase, then you end up maybe just becoming bitter or whatever. Because the fact that Shirase was even able to do that much on her own is impressive and probably the most unrealistic thing of the show.
Guys, you know what's really sweet about this?
What?
We wouldn't have made this far without going together.
That's right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have.
Yeah. See, this is the thing, y'all. You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. And that's probably my favorite thing about Place for the Universe is really actually those early episodes where you get them kind of forming the group.
Yeah.
They just handle it so well.
Yeah.
So it's great. So yeah, sorry guys about that. That was a very annoying cramp that just came out on my left leg. It was extremely painful.
Which one of you is Shirase?
Which one of us is Shirase? Probably Jacob.
Probably me. And then Caleb's the Kimari.
I'm definitely the Kimari.
Because the thing is that with the Shirase, if you're by yourself, you'll burn out. Yeah. Which is something that I definitely struggle with. Yeah. And the Kimari by themselves, you know, if they don't have the push every once in a while, they won't go anywhere.
They won't really go far at all. They'll just kind of like spin around in circles going, yeah. And they have a lot of fun, but they don't really do much. It's something that's kind of weird, but yeah.
And don't worry, we have not forgotten about Yuzuki.
No, Yuzuki and Hinata have like exceptional value in the story. It's something that I would say is almost something that's like their value in the story is so strong at certain points, like especially Hinata's in a really cool way. That like I feel like on some level people forgot about like where the story started with.
Right, exactly.
Like people are like, oh my god, like Hinata's story, Hinata's character, her arc she goes on, the way she helps Shirase.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yes.
But then like the conversations between Yuzuki and Kimari, it's just it's like so good.
You forget that Yuzuki was introduced in the third episode. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, that third episode was my heart. Like.
I could just die.
Yeah. The thing is that like as much as the my youth is in motion, gosh. I love that line. Like there are so many lines in A Place for the Universe that I love, but the I could just die. That was literally like a knife in my heart.
Yeah.
Both times, and the second time the knife was on fire. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuzuki was a character that showed me how well they could do the emotional character drama that made sense but also was done so smoothly. And while it was something where they really were banking on you empathizing with this character early, because I could see some people just being like, I missed it. I missed the whole Yuzuki train, so it didn't hit me when she started crying at the end there of that episode. And they're like, oh, this is a sweet moment. But for Jacob and I, holy crap, this is why we watch these shows one episode at a time.
Exactly.
Because when that third episode hit, we had already kind of gone on a little bit of a journey with Kimari
and Shirase and
Hinata as well, by kind of seeing how their little family had been starting to form. And then Yuzuki was so quickly accepted and brought into it and invited in. It was just it hurt. It was so good. It's so good. 1,000-degree knife on Jacob's heart new YouTube video. Basically, Family Guy 10. Binge Sora Yori, watch the reactions. Yeah, in that order.
So good.
It's very good.
Like,
it's something that I would say maybe will end up being kind of a classic anime. I'm not sure. There's a lot of people on YouTube right now talking about what kind of makes a classic anime.
Yeah.
And I think that Sora Yori could end up being one of those.
It's just really, so good.
It's really good.
Like 3 episode rule. I mean, that doesn't necessarily apply as much, anymore and stuff, but like, wow. Yeah. Like the first episode, like it's like, oh yeah, that was a good episode. I get the feeling we're gonna like this show. Second episode, it's like, oh no, I really like this show. And then third episode, just all right.
Raleigh 15.
Along for the ride.
So who's going to Antarctica with me to get that 1 million yen strass they left behind? Eric, well, let's get that bread. Yeah, classics as in I would say timeless masterpiece. Yes, yeah. Something that the story will be equally relevant and the experience of it will be just as equally worthwhile and valuable no matter what time you watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anything, maybe your life will change and it might gain more or less value. But no, for humanity as a whole, no. Right. That's a story that's timeless.
And that's the other thing, like it's because this is the hero's journey brought into the everyday.
Yeah.
Because the hero's journey in like fantastical stories and whatnot, it's fantastic, right? There's a reason the hero's journey
totally
exists, right? But I feel like in storytelling, it's very rarely done in a way that's so relatable.
Right.
Because it'll be with dragons or things like that. And they'll use things as like a supposal that we can use to insert into our own lives of, what dragons we have to face or things like that, right? But Sora Yori doesn't do that.
Yep.
It just takes normal people, really, more or less normal people, even if they're a little bit quirky and stuff.
Right.
Because who isn't? And then they go on a journey.
Yeah.
And they discover things about themselves, they change as people, and then they come back and it's this whole thing of, okay, life, let's do it.
Yeah. Each of these shows, they really committed to the story they were going to do, and they did it. One of the things that Devilman did that was relatively apparent from the beginning was basically the way they put Rio and Akira kind of against each other in the OP alone, but then also just kind of the way they're drawn, the way they're shown and everything. It's almost comically apparent with how Rio is just overwhelmingly white. It's ridiculous. But when you look at the way Miki is framed within the story, there's this aspect of this of like, oh, you're too good for this world. This world isn't going to let you.
She's the Moe Jesus that will die for all our sins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while that trope is done 1,000 times, that episode at the end, where everyone is basically listening to her, her speech, if you will, her trying to call back humanity to some semblance of sanity
from the brink.
I would say that episode really solidified in a lot of ways the power of humanity within it, because that was the same one where they had Akira with the crowd.
Right, exactly. It was the positive and negative all in one episode.
The 9th episode of Devilman, I would say, is what could carry it into being the classic area as well. And
at the same time, it hits so hard that it's like, I don't ever want to watch that episode again.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it until like a year from now.
Yeah.
But Place from the Universe also has one of those episodes as well, and that's the 11th episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that have watched Sora Yori,
help! We're sobbing on the floor and we can't get up.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Episode 11.
Yeah. Since there are a couple people here that haven't really seen Sora Yori, I'm not going to go too much in depth into it. But there's this idea with, I would say, these anime having a penultimate episode that in some ways is just infinitely better than the actual ultimate
episode. It's the climax as opposed to the resolution.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was something in Sora Yori with the way they paced it, by which you were kind of like surprised that there hadn't been any mention of this kind of arc's ending coming about, soon by this point, because they keep kind of delaying it to finish other characters' arcs. And
right, because each episode is very like self-contained with what it covers in that episode.
Right.
Even though they very much tell a linear narrative.
Yeah. Yeah. And once this character has her arc, kind of finish with this whole section here, there's a very, very cool bit in which it ties into the next episode, which is also pretty cool.
Yep.
But I cannot stress enough that our buddy over at Glass Reflection, at least I can say that now, kind of because Jacob has gotten a little close with him, and I've gotten maybe a little bit too close in his mind for like certain things.
Well,
anyways, stories for another time.
Story for another day.
Yeah, but the ending is paramount.
Yeah,
the ending is paramount, and the fact that these episodes that we're mentioning here are basically the ending of the two stories, or in some ways, two arcs for two very important characters in the overall narrative, but the beginning in some ways of a new arc. There's a dying and a rebirth that kind of happens in each of these episodes, and it's something gorgeous. Like, I will rewatch the Sora Yori one if I really want to just feel things. Like if I feel cold and dead inside, I'll just watch that again. I'll be like, all right, I'm alive. I'm a human being. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
Yeah. One of the aspects and the tenets of the hero's journey is the idea that it's not something that's done once. In stories, it's oftentimes done once, but because then the story's over, right? But from the standpoint of how it is supposed to relate to us in our own lives, is the idea that we're constantly going on little heroes' journeys, right?
Right.
Descending into the abyss and coming back with the boom. And in both of these shows, in very different ways, they basically set up the journey, because I don't know if it's necessarily a hero's journey per se in Devilman, but for the journey to happen all over again. And in the case of Devilman, there isn't as much impetus to it. It's more of just like this is the way of things, which is fantastic. And then in Sora Yori, it's this idea, like the fact that they have all the characters basically being like, this isn't going to be the end, right? This isn't just going to be something that happens and then we go back to our everyday lives. Like, we're different now, right? We are actually going to truly live our lives.
For sure.
It was just the perfect way to end it. And then that end credits scene.
Yeah, the end credits scene was fantastic.
Was the perfect cherry on top that I never expected. They didn't have to do it.
But they did it.
And why did I ever doubt them? Not just doubt them thinking that like it would be less than awesome, but that it wouldn't be absolutely amazing.
The Devil's Journey. What a classic structure.
Yeah. Finish Devilman and then watch Sora Yori. That'll fill the hole in your heart. Yeah.
That's a good countermeasure. But the thing is, I think it would taint Sora Yori because you'd be so cold and just lifeless.
I don't know if you'd have the energy to be able to hope. And, Yeah.
In some ways, if you really want to crush yourself, you watch Sora Yori first. And then you watch Devilman because you realize that there is no meaning to life. And, and all dreams must die.
And then you rewatch Sora Yori to be like, no, get away from there.
Yes. And then watch Berserk after that. Exactly.
One other thing that I feel like needs to be mentioned, and I might have mentioned it already about Sora Yori, but I know we've mentioned it before in previous videos, but I might be able to come up with like a couple favorite episodes, right? Where I'm like, okay, if I really think about it, these episodes are my favorite, like episode 3, episode 11, things like that.
Sure.
But when I think about it, and I go through all 12 episodes, every single episode is my favorite. The only one that might not be is episode 4 because it didn't quite blow me away as much as like the ones directly before and after.
Right.
Yeah, 5 would need to be another. Yeah, so maybe I can only narrow it down to the top 3 episodes, but even then, it's just they're all favorites. Like episode 1, yes, it's my favorite because these reasons. Episode 2, same thing. 3, 4, well, you know, it was really good. You know,
it had no flaws. It just wasn't.
Yeah,
wow.
It just didn't blow me away quite as much as the other ones did. Episode 5. Episode 6, yep. 7, 8, oh yeah. 9, 10, 11, oh god. 12, yep. Like
they're all perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're obviously, you know, fans of Sora Yori. We really, just a little bit biased. Love it. And this is obviously a shill podcast, if those of you haven't clued into this yet.
For both of these shows,
watch both of these shows. But I swear, if you're going to watch just one, this show, Sora Yori, needs your view. Go support it, go watch it, go do it. Just
and if you have people that you're wanting to get into anime, right, if you have people that you're wanting to get into anime, like I would tell you also things like a silent voice would be great, but a silent voice is like it hits so hard, like not some people just aren't up for that, right? But Sora Yori, it's just food for the soul. Like just take anybody and just be like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, let's just sit down and watch the first episode of this show. Yeah, it's an anime, but you know, it's great. I think you'll love it.
Yeah,
you know, nothing crazy about it.
Yeah. So we really love these shows. Really big fans of it.
Silent voices.
Yeah. Sorry there, Morty. You gotta watch Silent Voice, Morty, and you know, gotta get another Morty. Jacob's tapping into his inner Rick, his inner Rick.
I'll watch Sora Yori after. Oh wait, Sora Yori. No, Sora Yori.
Ha!
That sounds like a hentai.
Us, yeah.
Sora Yori after the other 100 I have planned. I promise. So I know that the anime watch list is a black hole where things go into and never come out of. But because of how short it is, because of how good it is, and because of just how it made me think about life a bit differently, I would say that it might deserve being moved to the top. That's all I'll say.
Wow.
But yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's get some questions in here. What are some things you'd love to ask us?
While you're asking those questions, I did something cool today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Tell them.
You might have seen the announcements, but basically I took all the copies of Battle Lines for the pre-orders and I got them all sent to Amazon.
Which is no small task, by the way.
There was a lot of sweating and ripping off of old labels and putting on new labels and taping things up and looking around for things and moving boxes and stuff. And
oh my god.
Yeah, but they're off to Bezos. So now when the great Bezos receives them, he will distribute them to you all, and so that you can get your copies. So yeah.
No, I have not watched Rick and Morty, but who doesn't know about Rick and Morty? Like, I've not watched more than maybe one clip, and it was more a meme clip than an actual thing. Just Jules, thank you so much for the follow. Glad to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my gosh. Watch Ping Pong, Devilman, and Sora Yori at the same time.
That would be quite the ride.
Oh my god. Yes, we've heard of Shield Hero. Wait, what did you think of that comparison? What comparison? What comparison? Did you send a message previously, Trashokan? I don't see. I don't see.
My friends are into surface level action shows, so shilling Sora Yori is impossible. Well,
Devilman is a show about the hypocrisy of humans, and Monogatari is a show about the hypocrisy of characters. So you mean characters? Yeah, I could see that. The thing about Monogatari that goes, I would say, a bit more into things than just hypocrisy is that there's a hypocrisy within Araragi that gets kind of transposed onto, I would say, somewhat of the other characters because everything is through his kind of general perspective. So maybe there's a hypocrisy within them, but I see that more as just they're fleshed out characters And Araragi's kind of the real hypocrite, primarily.
Oh, have you heard of the Makia movie? I'll become a VIP if you watch it. Mitya!
That was a movie watch we did 2 months ago. Or was it last month?
Yeah, because this month's was
No Game No Life.
No Game No Life movie. Yeah. And then last month's was Makia.
Yeah, we just watched it recently. Sorry, Kageyama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, is that our Mitya or is that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Mitya.
Yeah.
Doing awesome, bro.
Which studio may be done with Attack on Titan? That is.
What do you mean?
A sad.
How do you know
thing
that?
Indeed.
Explain.
I wouldn't be surprised. I know they overwork their people even more than most anime studios, which is saying something.
It's kind of scary to think about how a show can get so popular it actually terrifies its own people working on it.
Natminster, I would just go to bed. The Attack on Titan episode will be, up in the, next several hours.
It's midnight for you. Yeah.
Just sleep.
You don't want to wait a few hours. That could be a bit crazy.
Just notice the blonde vampire shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Both blonde vampires.
That's pretty cool. Huh? If you could change one thing about Crybaby, what would it be? I give it 3 more episodes. I just give it 3 more episodes.
Because I don't know how they would necessarily change this, because the pacing of it is very good and very intentional, and I wouldn't want it to be like a 2-core show or anything like that. 3 episodes Akira, I think would be enough.
I think Akira needed more characterization.
Yeah, basically I needed to feel more for the characters because the things that were happening were so brutal that there came a point where I just sort of shut down. So the more attachment that I would have had to the characters potentially, the better. And maybe that would have involved them needing to maybe deviate a bit from the source material, because the whole thing with Akira's parents and stuff, that episode was very much this is a source material type thing,
right? For sure.
But yeah, I don't know exactly how they would do that without damaging the rest of the show. But yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, Wit Studio is stomped, so the reins might be handed off to someone else. That said, it would be unlikely for a lot of the same staff. It wouldn't be unlikely for a lot of the same staff to stay on the project. The production committee is Production IG. Yep, that's because Production IG is the one that gives us the copyright claims. We know it's Production IG. Which WIT is a subsidiary of. Yeah, WIT is a small little baby studio. Mm-hmm. They're so precious. They've done so many good things recently. You wouldn't expect a drop in quality. If anything, it might get better. Okay, thank you, cool. Hazy, my dude. Appreciate the deets. My anime of the year is Mob Psycho 100, unless Spirit Forest comes and blows me away. Oh, for 2019. Yeah, I could definitely see Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 being a huge contender for anime of the year. There's one shot with the fight with Shimazaki that immediately made me think, okay, this is anime of the year material. That spot where the gun is being pointed and it's shakily moving around and he's jumping around and stuff, and he grabs the gun.
Mob Psycho Season 2.
I mean, we can chill that for a bit here. A little thing there. But if you have any questions specifically about Sora, Yori, or Devilman, please shout them out here. No, we have not seen Fruit Basket original or remake, I believe. You haven't seen any of those? No, me neither.
No, I'd heard about it, but
yeah. Remember when OPM was given to another studio? That was good, right? Kappa.
Didn't Wit Studio do After the Rain? They did indeed. Yep, and it was wonderful.
For sure. One of the blonde vampires is hot AF. The other is a lolly.
I'm glad that line ended that way.
Right. I love also that the way this shirt is worn, basically, is that you see you expected a sweater, but then they just have the image there because I think
the camera cuts off the lower portion of it.
Because the lower portion of it kind of kills the joke. It's kind of like you can hear the meme by just seeing the picture.
But I think it's something that has to be there so that the people that don't get JoJo's know that there is a thing that's being said, as opposed to it feeling like it just got cut off in the middle.
Right. That is true. What do you think about the use of running in the 2 shows? Yes, Devilman Crybaby's running animations were hilarious and over the top, but it was something that felt really cool as a showcasing of their power. If anything, the faces of Devilman Crybaby were where I thought they went a little bit crazy in the art.
Sure.
There's parts where they're running and they're it's pretty goofy.
But it's an extreme show, so
so it makes sense.
Then in Sora Yori, of course, the running scenes are amazing.
Yeah. In fact, the running scenes are more like they don't actually show the legs as often as you'd think, because the legs animating that is hard to showcase. Like the feeling of the impact on the ground tremoring up the rest of the body, that's really hard to do. At least I imagine it is.
Although
so they focus more on the backgrounds and stuff when they have that.
And I feel like a lot of the time though with running, like when you're running in a straight line, like doing curves and stuff, that you need to have a lot more of the impact. But when you're running in a straight line, you said that running is the closest thing to unassisted human flight. So like hopefully it's not too hard to do that.
Well, no, realistic running is really hard to do, and I think the best part about it is when they showcase Hinata doing these juke little turns around corners and stuff, and that's where the animation goes up into like, oh, that looked so realistic. And as someone that runs a lot, it's something that I could definitely see being very hard to animate properly, because no one runs consistently with like a certain like mechanicalness. That's why
unless they're like track,
unless they're a devil, possessing a human body,
Fun fact: Shirase is also voiced by the same person who voices Nadeko in Monogatari.
Oh,
very cool.
Good to know.
Very cool.
I love the devil runs. It shows how inhuman they are. I think the question was about the symbolism rather than the animation.
Oh, sure, because it's in both ways. It's about them giving into that internal, like maybe more desire, you know. It's more of a primal desire in Devilman, but you might say that there's an aspect of it that is still primal in Sora Yori.
Do you plan on watching Run with the Wind? There's a lot of running animation, an awesome story. The thing is, Mitya, is like I had Run with the Wind on my radar like right when it came out. I have a good friend, she watched the first episode, and she and I are huge Haikyuu fans, so we talk a lot about that, and she was like, Caleb, this might be a rebirth of like Haikyuu but for running. And I'm like, do tell. Like I love Haikyuu, in case you didn't know.
And he loves running.
And she was like, well, it's not as good, but it could be, and it's something that just started. So once it was like first episode live of the season, I'd been kind of like keeping my eye on it. And then a lot of people in the faction events recommended Run with the Wind as a reward for the faction events winning.
Yep.
And Run with the Wind was second place.
Yeah, it just barely got beat by Kaguya.
So we know Run with the Wind is probably like one of those good shows.
Devilman no Uta versus the music in the email scene. Hands down, insert song of Sora Yori. Like, oh man, I don't think there is any track in the Devilman Crybaby OST is amazing. Kensuke Yoshio, thank you so much. You are wonderful.
I don't know,
but I feel like the insert song, maybe it's more like how the song is used
multiple times, though.
Maybe, and it, there's probably a large portion of it that's how the song is used rather than maybe the song in and of itself. But none of the Devilman songs came close to having the impact on me that the Sora Yori insert song did.
Yeah. I think the running question was about the whole baton symbolism.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Yes. That is fantastic. That was something that was handled quite well.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but it's different, obviously. Yeah. I'm just saying that it has some similarities.
Oh, she also voices Mayuri from Steins Gate.
Oh,
sweet.
What?
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Wally15, do you guys find that Devilman's excessive use of graphic imagery is justified for the story? Would you rather it was more toned down? Well, the thing is that I don't know, because I'm not someone that kind of judges things on that level. It's something that as an artistic means of expression, I am fine with over the top. If anything, like I personally thought there were moments where it was just there's one scene in particular, I think y'all know. I can just say one word, it's not even that explicit, and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It was just like, wow, they did that. Splurge. Just like that one part made me just go, all right,
yeah,
cool. Like I do not mind seeing him walk around with his bulge like all just like hang out. So I'm like, all right, okay, yeah. But then it was just like, that's gross. Like,
right.
That's nasty.
See, okay, that's the scene that you thought was gross. The scene that I thought was gross was like that.
Teach their own, I guess. Yeah. Devilman ceiling babies. I'm so sorry. That joke was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parasite when? In the future. Eventually. I don't know. It is different from my cube, and it makes you feel all kinds of emotions. Yeah, I think the thing that, you know, what's contained in my it's Haikyuu but with something else is that Haikyuu was an anime that had characters playing a sport, but it was about the characters playing a sport, not the characters playing the sport, if that makes sense. It was a character focused story that just happened to have them playing volleyball, and they used volleyball as a mechanic to tell a specific type of story. But if they had used any other type of sport, it would have been almost as or just as good. I think so.
Yeah, but it's very different because the fact that it was such a team-based sport really helped with the character interactions.
Yeah, and I would say it would have worked for something like soccer, but yeah, it wouldn't have worked for something like I want an Ultimate Frisbee anime for one, right? I really want an Ultimate Frisbee anime. An Ultimate Frisbee anime would tell a very different type of story from Haikyuu for sure. Yeah. Y'all hyped for the Made in Abyss movie? Oh, I hope it's good. I hope it's very good. Because if it's a continuation as hey, we can't give you season 2, but at least we can give you this. I'm like, hey, it's content.
I think I heard that a lot of it was
content. No, there's
recap.
No, there's 2 movies. There's a recap movie, but there's an actual movie coming out. Exactly. Y'all shut up about that TPN. Promise Neverland is on early access right now.
They're just trolling. I think someone said that they were like, well, hey, at least we don't have to worry about people saying, TPN
where's the Promise Neverland?
Exactly.
Have you heard of the Promise Neverland? I think that's one of our top viewed clips on Twitch right now.
Oh, wow. Actually, 3 of the Sora Yori girls are in Monogatari. Shirase is Nadako, Hinata is Tsukihi, the little sister, and Yuzuki is redacted.
Oh my.
Cool.
Yuzuki is redacted. Awesome. Oh, well, nice, Kyle.
Well, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Yuzuki is also Shoko from A Silent Voice.
Whoa, 3 movies, 2 recap, and 1 continuation.
Gotcha, that makes a lot more sense. 6 episodes per, basically. Okay.
That makes sense, yeah. I just noticed I watched 6 shows at the moment with you guys. Game of Thrones rewatch with a friend who haven't seen anything. Attack on Titan, 3 Gatsu, One Punch Man, 2nd season. I'm watching too much. Nah, you gotta get good, man. You gotta watch 12 different shows at the same time. That's where it's at. Surprised none of the characters are voiced by Killua. I hear it everywhere, which is funny because then we were just dealing with Land of the Lustrous.
No talking about Game of Thrones yet, though.
Yeah. No talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You will get banned. Jack Lee Pro 12. Thank you so much for the follow.
Yes.
Glad to have you here.
TPN equals trolled Parasite next.
Oof.
All this talk of movies has me wondering, did y'all ever see A Silent Voice? I literally just said that Yuzuki has the same voice as Shoko from A Silent Voice. Yes.
Well, I think it's basically
it's the meme. It's the other
It's the other. Have you heard of the Promise Neverland? It's can we get Jacob to talk about
A Silent Voice? Silent Voice is amazing, guys. You need to see it.
Okay, so one of the things that one of our mods on Discord, I hope Squeaky is here. Let me check. Lyric, can you go message Squeaky and say it's going to happen?
We don't actually recommend watching multiple shows at once. One at a time is best because otherwise you'll end up watching a bunch of them part of the way through and then dropping them, and that's no good.
Right. Well, we're talking about on a weekly basis, though.
Right. If it's stuff that's airing, then yeah, that's a different thing.
So. One of our mods on Discord sent us this thing, which is apparently a funny video of Devilman, but Devilman old school OVA English dub, and it's a YouTube video that is apparently just a clip compilation of all the funny English dub moments.
Yep.
And I'll link it in chat here. And yeah, one of our patrons and mods in the Discord is basically like, you guys have to watch this and react to it. Please, you know, give it a look and let us know what you think about it, or, you know, just react to it and stuff. So we're going to react to it live on the podcast here. I'm going to put it in a little corner of the video here. Now,
so in traditional fashion, I have already seen this because shortly after we finished Devilman, basically someone was like, watch this, right? And I did, and it's amazing.
I'm excited just because just the first image on the video makes me think of the Ghost Stories dub of just fill the whole filler, you know, like. And this is something I've been thinking about doing, but basically having in the podcast a submission section where like 2 or 3 videos just get kind of reacted to as kind of like mini little YouTube content stuff, and we just have that in there. But this is like a first like little thing here. So we're not gonna do like a full length thing. We're gonna actually like show you the thing here really quick. So let me go into Streamlabs here and put up the editor here so we can put the video up here. Pop. That should do it. You guys can see it okay. And yeah, turn on desktop audio.
Yep. All right.
And yeah, hopefully it's not too loud. But yeah, we're gonna watch this here. This will be kind of fun. So Jacob has seen it before, but I have not.
This is so wonderful.
So yeah, here we go, y'all. Let's check this thing out.
Look down there at your feet. Huh? Who's that out there? Oh, dearie me, I've just kicked the bucket.
Aww!
What?
Yes, you fucking can!
What?
Fuck you!
What?
Kid, you're a stupid little fucker.
No!
That's alright. It's the least I can do to put on a plaster. Besides, who else is there? We're all alone.
Hey!
Is that Miki?
Akira!
I don't know.
Furo.
Huh?
Probably.
Is this Rio?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Dramatic zoom. Akira's like, I want him.
Like, it's just going for so long.
Of course, it's my old friend Rio. How the
After
hell
all
have
that
you been
build-up.
keeping, then?
Rio, I don't think Akira should come with you. He had an accident earlier.
I don't give a shit.
What the hell are you doing? But you could easily hurt someone.
That's the idea.
That's the idea.
It's true what they say. Smoking's bad for your health. Especially when it's your own flesh you're smoking.
You mean he tried to kill you? Incredible.
Incredible.
And then, he died.
Is it okay for me to wear my shoes in here?
I don't give a shit. Relax. It's quite dead.
Dead?
Dead?
No fucking way, Rio. I'm out of here.
Come here.
Rio, this is bullshit.
Down here.
Fucking A, run for it. Let's get the fuck out of here. Suck on this. Come on.
Captain Falcon reference.
What is it? Oh, fuck. Akira, get the fuck out of here. There's one behind you. Get out. Come on. Akira! Alright, if you're prepared to give it a try, then so am I. Let's go get some demons.
What? What?
Okay, open the door and let's take a swing at the motherfuckers. What the fuck? What the hell is this? Some kind of a shit for brains joke? Surely you can see we don't stand a chance.
Just shut the fuck up and listen to me.
Fucking hellfire!
Hi there, Mr. Fuckwit. You're beginning to look a little bit run down.
Let me give you a helping hand. Akira, do you feel any change happening inside you yet? No, nothing. Absolutely zippo. Then somehow we fucked up.
I've done it. I'm Devilman.
Oh,
You
no!
can see Devilman.
No! Oh, it hurts.
Can't leave me, not now.
Why God? Why God?
What? Okay, there's bad, and then there's whatever that was.
We'll see. Asshole! You're such a loser!
Rio. Hello. You seem very well. Now listen here, Rio. If you ever say that again, I'll rip your fucking head off and shit down your neck, okay?
Akira!
Huh? Yow!
Yow!
You pig! I couldn't stand not having a bath every day.
Let me know next time. I'll soap your tits for you. Wah-hey!
What?
So, he thinks my knickers are stupid. Alright, I'll get rid of them then. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't got any other kind of knickers, so I won't wear any at all.
It begins. The night of blood begins.
What? What?
Akira! What the fuck? Come on out, you scum-sucking slime ball. You've swallowed some of Gelmar.
Ah!
Shit! Whoa! You were talking some bullshit about tormenting me in hell earlier, Shiranu. Well, now's your chance. Let's see if you can walk the walk, so get ready for Devilman!
Ew.
Try this for size, you bitch! Ah! Okay, seeing as we've each lost an arm, I guess we're even.
Afraid not, Devilman. My lost arm is just up above you.
Forget it, you've lost. No! Oh yes, I think so. No! Why will you do this?
What was that?
You should turn off desktop audio.
Yeah. That was awful.
I forgot about some of the things that were shown there. Maybe that shouldn't have been on display capture.
Well,
but yeah. A reminder that Devilman was published in Shonen Jump.
Wow. You'd never guess it, right? That was so bad it's good level. I mean,
I'm Devilman. I'm Devilman.
why God? Why God? It's so bad.
Afraid not, Devilman. My arm is above you. Ah!
Yes. It's so bad.
Yep.
Oh my God, the cringe was too real.
And I love how long they focus on Rio walking up with the ominous music and everything.
Right.
That must have been like 30 solid seconds. And it's just like, oh. Hey, it's my old buddy Rio.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, Squeaky, thank you so much for recommending that to us. Oh my God, that was something else. Crybaby's dub is actually really good. So it's just that the OVAs are bad. I'm confused.
Yes.
What is it that? Why are these? Is it just there's certain parts of it that are really cringe?
Can I wear shoes inside? I don't give a shit.
Small correction. Devilman was originally published in Weekly Shonen Magazine, but yeah, still a shonen magazine. Gotcha. I'd have a very bad Alphonse voice in the German dub of The Sacred Star of Milos FMA movie. Oh, in that, there is a really bad Alphonse in the German dub. Gotcha. Is this some kind of shits for brain joke?
That's right. I kicked the bucket.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, Neferpato, did we miss something of your questions or something? Checking. I guess not. Devilman does not equal Devilman Crybaby.
Right. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm hearing something weird in them.
Oh,
I guess it's my tag. Oh, that's weird. My tag.
Oh, really?
My tag was rubbing up against my shirt. It was making this like stretchy noise. Yeah, we've actually had an issue where there's construction outside our place way over there, and it displaced apparently a ton of rodents. So we actually had to deal with some actually sneaking in, and
by had to deal, we mean we dealt with some of them.
Still dealing with it.
Are still dealing with it.
Traps out there and stuff.
There was actually this hilarious moment where Caleb was on a call with somebody.
Yes, I was sitting right here.
He was sitting right here, and I'm at my computer over there.
Ran underneath my feet.
Right underneath his feet. So he's got the backdrop up and everything, and he's like talking, and I'm just on my computer or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Caleb's like, and like stumbles out of his chair and
like jumped that way like crazy, and it was just like,
and I'm just like, what's going on?
It's a good thing I hadn't watched the recent JoJo episode.
yeah, that was the thing. The right after that, then suddenly the JoJo episode with rats and stuff, and it's like,
what is going on?
It's like that was quite a coincidence.
No. I was more shocked by the rat mouse thing. Spiders give me genuine terror, fear.
Yeah.
But no, I would not have any issue staring down a rat or looking at one. It's just the aspect of like the shock of it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Devilman starts playing as they kill rats.
Rio saying hello.
Yeah, basically. Hello. Can Rat-chan get heard in the podcast at some point? I wonder. I mean,
behind this backdrop is actually just like dozens of rats just crawling around.
No, that's gross. No, don't give them that image, Jacob. Ugh. This must be the work of an enemy stand.
Would you struggle staring down a rat if it had a sniper?
No, not really. Because it's obviously either too small to handle the real sniper, or it's a sniper so small it can't hurt me.
But what if it was like JoJo's style sniper?
Then I have a stand too. Then how does it stop me? I have a stand that has magnets attached to it. It's like a magnet.
That's
frisbee.
True. Yeah, its gun placement would mean nothing to you.
I counter it stands so hard.
Yeah,
it means nothing.
True.
Like
that's true.
That rat is backtracking. Oh, the way I said that, yes, that was something else. That was really funny. JoJo's is always relevant. See, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Oh, that OVA is from the 80s, and I have no idea when they dubbed it. They wondered if they could, but they never thought to ask if they should. Yes. Caleb, you could seriously hurt those rats. Caleb, that's the idea. Yeah. Did you see the Muffet art I linked you in the Discord last Friday?
Yes,
I think so.
Yep. That was great.
Wait. Oh, wait. Yes, I think I did.
Yeah.
Let me double check here.
Jacob is the chick magnet. Caleb is the rat magnet. No, Caleb's just the magnets.
I'm just the
general.
magnets. Yeah, Jacob's not the magnet one.
I'm the armor one.
Exactly.
But
where
the
was
thing
it
is,
where was it in?
Probably in art.
Wait, let me check my mentions because I'm pretty sure I saw this.
Oh yeah,
I saw this.
Yeah, it's the
okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was legit.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Okay. Okay, at 27:47, you can hear the absolute best voiceover for Alphonse. It sounds like a 45-year-old man with a robot filter over his voice. It's so bad.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, that's
okay.
Awful. Can you tell us your thoughts on why do you think Devilman Crybaby won Anime of the Year?
It's more different. It stands out. You know,
it's something that is an avant-garde art piece that speaks to something deeper about the present kind of it's very relevant, I would say. It has a lot of current kind of stuff that it's talking about and stuff, but I would say more so it had kind of more of a shock and awe effect than A Place for the Universe had, so it was just more popular.
Exactly.
And that's probably why it won. Yeah. I think that generally speaking, there are a lot of people that watch shonen that would never watch A Place for the Universe,
but would potentially watch
Devilman Crybaby for the edge factor.
Yep.
Which I'm not saying that they're just plebs with no taste. I'm just saying that they.
Well, I mean, but he could be saying that.
I could be saying that.
Yeah.
It's just they they have their tastes and that's what it is.
Gruesomeness and grittiness and
action just in general
does not inherently mean better.
Yeah.
But yeah. What older anime would you want to get a remake, reboot like Devilman did? Well, see, here's the thing.
What do you mean?
Older anime, more than 10 years old? Because there's plenty of anime.
Yeah, because that's very specific. Yeah, I mean that's not specific enough.
Like I would love in a lot of ways for I don't know, Black Lagoon or Haruhi or Spice and Wolf to get a remake, because then they might actually get farther into the story. But
I would love a live action adaptation of Monster, even though that's not old.
Yeah,
I would say of an old. Well, obviously the easy one is Berserk. I want a true Berserk adaptation. Sure. Now that I've seen 1997, I've read a huge chunk of the manga. I know the potential is there. It can be done. But it's just the question of whether or not they will do it.
Give Kill la Kill the Crybaby treatment even faster. Zip zoom.
No, that's like you take out 9 episodes of Kill la Kill. Which episodes do you take out?
I don't know. Maybe some of the early fights against the Devas.
Yeah, maybe. But
yeah,
it's absolutely nuts. Oh my god.
Spice and Wolf remake. I want. Yeah. That would be wonderful.
Oh man. In terms of really old anime though, I really, really liked brains here. I really liked how Neon Genesis Evangelion had its splash, and then basically they had all the movies and stuff. They tried to retcon the ending and stuff. I would love a higher budget, just one for one, just a graphics kind of look update animation thing. NGE in a lot of ways. I don't think you need to change too much, but what you could do is just slot in the plot of certain movies that you want to fix the ending a little bit. Because I'm one of those people that just the NGE ending is bad. It's just bad to me. I don't like discussing it from a literary standpoint, because it's just it's. Oh, they hate the movie's aesthetic. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, because it's not the classic look. But if you have it all be the same thing and it doesn't conflict with itself, but I don't know. I could see it being fun.
But NGE fans, how old NGE is, couldn't that be just a bunch of old people stuck in their ways? Saying that the way things were back in the day were better.
Yeah, I assume if you're at least 17 when you watched NGE, which
you watched it, within a couple years after it coming out.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume they watched it when it came out at 17. That would mean that right now they're 39.
Right.
So, wait, no. They'd be 41. Because it was 1995 and it's 2019.
Yeah.
So that was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they'd be 41 years old.
Yep.
And honestly, that's a generation and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe
it's that picture of Thor or Danny.
Yeah.
It's no, the old Cell animation was better. Is it though?
Is it though? Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe no, I just want Hunter x Hunter continuation. I don't want it to remake. I think the 2011 one is fantastic. I think that they just need to make more of it. Yeah. Dororo is 50 years old, just saying. Oh, really? Dororo is based off of a 50-year-old story?
So you're telling me there's hope.
Huh. Okay. maybe the thing is, Jacob, is that we don't need remakes or reboots. We don't need any more Devilman, things like that. We just need inspired versions, like offshoots of the stories. You know?
Sure.
So take the whole story of Berserk, for instance, right? There have been tons of stories out there that have tried to mimic certain parts of it. But just take a certain aspect of it and just run with it. Don't try to do everything. Just take like, you know, this specific part of it.
We get a Berserk anime that isn't based off the manga, and that's how they make it so that it can work.
Right.
But then at the same time still piss everyone off because it's a Berserk adaptation that, even though is good, wasn't covering the source material that they wanted. It's brilliant.
Yeah, we're so off base with what the podcast was originally about. But
I would pretty much watch any Haruhi spin-off series though.
Dr. Wound Respector, thank you so much for the 100 bits.
Yes,
Masaki Yuasa, the Devilman Crybaby director, is making a new show called
Aizoken ni wa te wo dasuna,
which is about 3 eccentric girls wanting to create an anime. I'm so excited because this is his take on cute girls doing cute things. Whoa!
Devilman Crybaby to cute girls doing cute things. Is this Berserk?
It's Masaki Yuasa. He directed Ping Pong, so...
that's a good point.
He could do He could do it.
Yeah,
like he's done a whole lot of stuff. It's just a question of
you may take our lives, but you'll never take our Griffisu.
Yes, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to jerk me off?
Yep. Yeah.
There isn't a ton of original anime nowadays, though. I feel most stuff seems to be adaptations. Whoa! Hold on. Most anime was always adaptations.
Well, great point.
Let's be real here. Like, yes, we have Sora Yoris out there, though. But if you want more original, you know, anime,
buy Blu-rays of Sora Yori.
Yes, buy Blu-rays of Sora Yori. Like, actually, like, support them. Because I think actually what most people want is that hype manga that they've been reading to be finally animated, so they can see X scene or Y scene or whatever. In all its animated glory with music and everything attached to it.
Yeah.
Wait, saying that in
a podcast that is partially about an anime only. You know, saying like everything's, you know, adapted from something, and then it's like, so the way you support that is by buying Sora Yori. Oh, okay. Yeah. There we go.
Nice. Nowadays we
Kill la Kill was an original. Yeah,
Kill la Kill was original. That's true.
Madoka Magica was an original.
Yeah. The guy that made Dororo is the guy that made Astro Boy. Oh, cool. Okay. There's still a lot of original anime. My source says Kodansha only considered Kyoto Bones as a project quit, but they all have no intention. Oh, you guys are talking about Attack on Titan. Okay.
Unless you're a fan of Overlord, then you just want Madhouse to stop hurting you.
The one show Madhouse is actually making sequels to. All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping things up here real quick. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and stuff.
Yes.
Let us know how you liked the idea of us reacting to like a YouTube video that's, you know, pre-picked by you know, Discord members or patrons or whatever, what have you. And yeah, we'll see you all in future streams. Tomorrow we've got more Berserk.
Yep.
We're wrapping up what's left of the manga and what we've got thus far. And then on Thursday we're going to be finishing up
Undertale.
Yeah. We've got basically to the end of it here.
Yep.
And then on Friday
The Witcher.
Witcher 3. And I've actually now continued the main story because I thought that there was a Mass Effect kind of 2 gathering the party for a suicide mission kind of thing.
Okay.
And I thought that was the end of the game, so I purposely delayed off that mission as long as possible.
And it wasn't
then the chat was like, Caleb, you realize the game keeps going for a long time after this, right? I'm like, oh, I did not know that. And they were like, yeah, you just do it. So yeah. So, it's been a lot of fun. By YouTube videos, I assume you mean react to bridges you haven't seen.
The bridges we haven't seen.
Oof, that's a very small number of things. Yeah, exactly. But y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you all in the next one. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.
So Jacob, you got all those Battle Lines books shipped out.
That's right. It's
gonna be cool because
everyone
will be able to see the gloriousness of the story that is Battle Lines.
Yep.
You know?
Oh man, those books look they're just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about them, hearing about those, like, and getting to read those specific twists, those
yes,
really
there's so many amazing twists. Like, okay, I mean, there's a few, but you've read the book. Which one is your favorite of all of the twists?
Oh, my favorite one is